Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the 2022 Senate map, just doing a prediction. I know I did one like 2 weeks ago, but I think that just based on the new candidates and data we've seen, I think stuff has changed. So yeah. Also, this is my third time filming this. The first time I just had a bad, but I just don't think I did well. The second time, of course, my family comes screams at me, so that's great. And I forgot to edit that part out. Like, I was in the middle of talking and I just couldn't edit the part out, but whatever. So, this is my third time filming this. This is going to post on, I think this is going to post on Monday. This is Saturday night. And I'm going to post this on Monday because I'm going to be driving to Utah for all of tomorrow. I guess I might post pictures on Twitter. So, if you want to follow me on Twitter, have at it. Go ahead, do that. Just follow on Twitter. But yeah, so let's get started. I'm so brain dead right now. These are the safe Democratic states. Oregon's not going to be likely. That's nonsense. Biden won the state by like 16%. So it says blue state. The suburbs are growing in Oregon. Clackamas County is trending blue, which is the bellwether of that state. So yeah, California is only worth mentioning for a second because it's safe blue no matter who the Democrats run. But that's Kamala Harris's seat, so she's obviously be VP. So it'll be interesting to see who Newsom picks as next senator, and then we're gonna have a special election in 2021, which is gonna be fun. So my parents are gonna get to vote again next year. So that'll be fun covering that, like especially because I live there, because California gets no political attention. So it'll be fun for just a few, obviously it'll be interesting to cover the Democratic primary. So yeah, but Illinois, that's Tammy Duckworth's seat. She's gonna win re-election, unless Mark Kirk. No, my bad. Mark Kirk's not gonna run, unless Bruce Rauner runs. But I think he would move to Florida or something. So that's solid for the Democrats. In Vermont, one of three things is gonna happen. A is Patrick Lee. He just runs again and wins. He's the incumbent, but he's pretty old. B is the Democrats just find like your average Democrat, Peter Welch maybe, or just your average Democrat, and they fill the seat. It could be an open seat if Leahy retires. And C, Phil Scott, who's the Republican governor, runs. Scott's a liberal Republican, and he's basically a Democrat, so he'd still lose because Vermont is a super blue state. And just generally in the Northeast, these Northeastern liberal Republicans, they don't do very well at the Senate level. Like Bill Weld of Massachusetts, he was the popular governor. He lost his Senate race there. So traditionally, these are Democratic seats that hold, no matter who the Republicans run. New York's also be safe. I don't think AOC is going to primary Schumer. So I'm just going to fill in the safe red states. Alaska's safe. Murkowski, in 2016, she actually had a spoiler. She still won easily. People are saying for some reason that Heidi Heitkamp's going to run North Dakota. No, she's not. Stop that. In Kansas, Laura Kelly's going to... excuse me. Laura Kelly's not going to run. Kansas is solid red unless Laura Kelly runs. If Laura Kelly runs, it's probably a lean Republican or the Republican seat. But she's going to have to run for re-election as governor, and that's going to be a really close race. Missouri's safe unless Kander runs. I don't think Kander's going to run, though, so I'm just making my guesses here. A lot's going to change, but I don't think Kander's going to run. I think Kander's going to... he might run in 2024 against Hawley. It would be two populists. I don't know. He might actually run for governor, which will be interesting because Mike Parson's not super popular, and he might actually win that race. Then run for Senate maybe. But yeah, Arkansas is also safe. That's John Boozman's seat, John Neely Kennedy in Louisiana. He might get primaried, but I don't think no matter who the Republicans run, it's gonna be safe. Alabama, Richard Shelby is gonna hold on. Tim Scott in South Carolina has crossover appeal because he's a black Republican, which is it's pretty rare. But they usually do well, except for Kim Klacik, which she was running in Baltimore, so of course she was going to lose. Rand Paul's going to win re-election in Kentucky. That's safe. Indiana, unless Evan Bayh, Joe Donnelly runs, this is very solid for the GOP. Even so, I think it'd stay. Be more like a 6-point win as opposed to a 16-point win for the Republicans. Pete Buttigieg, he's the Secretary of Transportation, so he's not going to run for Senate there. Ohio's going to stay with the Republican Party. Rob Portman in 2016, he ran against a former popular governor, Ted Strickland, and still won by 21%. And I get that Hillary Clinton was on the ballot, but still, he should have at least won by a bit less against a popular governor. But Portman's very popular. He has crossover appeal. Now, he's actually not super popular with the Trump base, and he might get primary, but either way, he's going to win. If he somehow does get primaried and loses, he might. Ohio could still be red. It'll just be likely red. And by the way, just for background for those of you who don't know, the reason he's unpopular with the Trump base is because in 2016 he said he didn't vote for Trump. He also distanced himself from Trump consistently, so not a super pro-Trumpian Republican in the Senate from Ohio. So yeah, that's it. 45 seats to the Republicans, 45 seats to the Democrats too, because Colorado's safe. I think we learned that this year. Biden won it by 13, and Michael Bennett's going to win pretty easily. That's a blue state. I don't care what anyone says. So yeah. Now, these are actually competitive races. There are no likely Democrat seats according to my forecast, but there is one for the Republicans. It's Iowa. And I do think that no matter who the Democrats run, whether it be Fred Hubbell, Abby Finkenauer, Teresa Greenfield, Michael Franken, or Cindy Acne, I don't care who they run, it's probably still going to go to the GOP, probably by similar margin that Trump won it by in 2016. We could see a 7 or 8 point win for the GOP here in 2022. And I get that Iowa has a history of swinging towards one party and then swinging all the other way, like 2018, Trump won it by 9%, and then in 2018, the Democrats won the generic House ballot by 4%. So we see these swings in Iowa, but I just don't see Democrats being able to win the seat. If Chuck Grassley retires, this is a bit more competitive than it would be because Grassley's pretty popular. He won re-election in 2016 with like 65% of the vote. So yeah, but either way, this is going to stay red in all likelihood. The Democrats have a very slim chance of flipping the seat. And after 2020, where it was supposed to be super competitive and they lost by 6%, I don't see a path to victory for them in Iowa. Florida's also be red. If Ivanka, or did I just say, people are saying that Ivanka Trump might run for that seat. I don't think she's going to primary Rubio, but if she does, it'll be tilt Republican, lean Republican. If Rubio is the nominee, which he probably will be, it's likely Republican. He's pretty popular. He's lost popularity since 2016, which is why I think it'll be a little closer than 2016. But the Democrats, the Florida Democratic Party is a mess. They literally in 2018 they literally nominated someone who slept with prostitutes. And I know, and I don't like to bring these adult themes into my videos, but just to stress how bad the Florida Democratic Party is, I have to do it sometimes because they are an adult theme and they're an embarrassment to the Democrats of Florida. And I know I went on a rant there, but the Florida Democratic Party is unorganized, but so is each party has their memes. The Arizona Republican Party is a mess. The Virginia Republican Party is a mess. The Ohio Democratic Party is a mess. The Hawaii Republican Party actually is a thing, funnily enough. I think I follow them on Twitter, but whatever. So yeah, now going to our leading Democrat states, we got 2 in the Southwest, Arizona and Nevada. Starting with Nevada, I'm actually driving through there tomorrow, so stay tuned. I'm kidding. This is not going to turn into a vlog channel, by the way. I'm an arrogant kid, but I'm not that arrogant. Okay, so Nevada, just really briefly, Brian Sandoval's not going to run. Like, if he runs, this is more of a lean Republican seat, but if not, which he's probably not going to, I don't know who the Republicans are going to run. Like, Mark Amodi might run, but I really don't think he's going to. He's a congressman from northern Nevada, and he's no name recognition at all. The Republican Party in Nevada hasn't really been able to field good candidates, so this is probably going to stay lean Democrat. It'll be like a 3 or 4 point Democratic win. That is Catherine Cortez Masto's seat. Yeah, that's her seat. It's also Harry Reid's seat, but he retired 6 years ago, or 4 years ago. So it'll be 6 years by 2022. But yeah, either way though, I think the Democrats are going to hold on here unless Brian Sandoval runs. But he's not going to run. I'll give you 2 reasons. A, because he's distanced himself from Trumpism, which is the future of the Republican Party. B, because he's been out of the public eye since he was term limited as governor. So yeah, and then in Arizona, I think 2 months ago, like if you asked me 2 months ago on October 19th, whatever, you were like, hey UEP, do you think that because almost everyone knew that Mark Kelly was going to win, UEP 2022, Mark Kelly versus Doug Ducey. Joe Biden's president. Who wins? I'm probably going to say Doug Ducey by less than 1%. But Doug Ducey's not going to run because he's really alienated the Trump base by, in their eyes, betraying them because he's repeatedly said, because they've repeatedly said, primary Doug Ducey because he certified Biden's election win in Arizona. He said Biden won Arizona way too early for their liking, I guess. He also has kind of lost his moderate base because of his COVID response, which was not liked by a lot of people. So he's kind of losing a lot of popularity. And I think Kelly, especially in a good win in 2020, he outperformed Biden by 2%. He's probably still going to hold 2022. So yeah. Now, taking a look at our lean Republican seats, that's one. Georgia, David Perdue is going to hold on. And I know that, I get to feel really like Jon Ossoff because he's a good campaigner. He's a strong campaigner. He really had a great debate performance against David Perdue, such a great performance that Perdue refused to debate him again. And I get that, he's gotten a lot of media attention, but really, he has such a slim pathway to victory. Like, turnout has to be as high as it was in November, which I think it's going to be like 90% of that, which is still pretty good for a runoff. But B, also in November, Perdue outperformed Trump by like 2%. So I think that's going to be the difference there, and Purdue's going to win by like 2%. So yeah, 2.5%, maybe 3%. I'll be a little I'll give Perdue the benefit of the doubt because he was supposed to be in a really competitive race in 2014, but he won by like 10%. So I'll say the Purdue is going to win by 3 against Jon Ossoff. Now, Pennsylvania's leading Democrat. This is going to be a controversial call, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. But the Democrats in Pennsylvania, they have good candidates. I don't know who the Republicans are run. This is Pat Toomey's seat. He's retiring. I don't know who the Republicans are really going to run here. Comment down below who you think they're going to run, because I really don't know, and I'm not going to pretend like I know. But Democrats have good options. They can run the Lieutenant Governor, John Fetterman, who is very popular. They can run Tom Wolf, who's the popular governor who won by 17% in 2018, so he's popular, like I said. He could run because he's going to be term limited in 2022. The Democrats could also run Josh Shapiro, who's the Attorney General, who has been, he was the best performing Democrat in Pennsylvania in 2020. He won by 5%. He won re-election as Attorney General by 5%, and I think that would help him a lot. And I think he'd be able to outperform Biden's numbers again. I think he went by like 4% in 2022. So yeah. Now getting into our tilt states. Starting with Wisconsin, let's go down to the wire, okay? Hey guys. Starting with Wisconsin, I think that Wisconsin's going to stay just barely red. There are really no good candidates for either party here. Like, I think Dave Beth, who's the sheriff of what's I forgot. What's that? Why did I forget the county name? I had it in my brain 2 seconds ago. Okay. This is embarrassing. I'm gonna have to think for 10 minutes here, and then I'll hit play on the video. Kenosha. That's what it. Kenosha. Sheriff of Kenosha County, Dave Beth, against possibly the Democratic Senate Minority Leader in the Wisconsin State Senate, Janet Bewley. So that could happen. Really, actually isn't too unpopular, but right now, and here where Joe Biden's president in Wisconsin's trending red, the electorate's 85% white. I just have a feeling that the Republicans are narrowly hold this seat. It'll be very close. I think it'll be less than 1%, but they're just going to narrowly hold on to this seat. So, yeah. Now, let's make this suspenseful, and we're going to give North Carolina to the Democrats. Mark Walker is the only declared Republican, and I think Laura Trump's going to run. And I think she might win the primary because of her name, because Trump is popular with 90% of the Republican Party. So I think Laura Trump could win the nomination. She could very well go up against Roy Cooper, who I think would win by a lean margin. But I don't think Roy Cooper's going to run for Senate in 2022, maybe in 2026. But in 2022, I think he's going to run or just be governor. But I think the Democrats, if the Democrats in North Carolina had the ability to not get into these scandals like John Edwards and Cal Cunningham, there will be 2 Democrats in North Carolina. Instead, there are 2 Republicans. So the Democrats have to run someone who has the ability to keep it in their pants. That's for sure. I don't know who they're going to run. They could. I honestly don't know. I'm trying to think of names here. again, I'm not entirely sure, but this is probably me a Democratic pickup, and I'll tell you why. First, Mark Walker isn't very well known. Second, Laura Trump is not super popular in North Carolina. Third, Joe Biden only lost North Carolina by 1.5%, despite not campaigning there at all. And because he went to the Rust Belt, he visited Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Nevada, and Arizona. A little bit of Florida, but that was mostly Obama and Kamala. Not North Carolina. He didn't visit North Carolina that much. So I do think that North Carolina is going to go to the Democrats as a result of them actually running a candidate who has the ability to not get into a sexual affair. Although, and I just remembered, Erica D. Smith is the only Democrat who's declared, but I don't think she's going to get the nomination. She lost in 2020 to Cal Cunningham. But yeah. Now, okay. Raphael Warnock in Georgia, I really do think that Warnock's going to win the election in Georgia. And I think this because he has the Warnock. Wait, sorry. Kelly Loeffler is going to win Georgia, and I'll tell you why. The turnouts not going to be high enough for Warnock to win. Also in November, when the turnout was super high, literally the Democrats still in the special election. Warnock, Lieberman, Tarver, all those Democrats combined for a bit less of the vote than Collins and Loeffler did. So I think Loeffler's going to narrowly win, but by a bit less than Purdue. But yeah, now New Hampshire, I really do think Kirsten is going to run, and I think right now I'm going to put it in the tilt Republican column because we haven't seen any polls there, but I think this could go into the lean Republican column. I think Snooney would have the ability to win by like a 4 or 5% margin there. And I say this because he's very popular. He wouldn't do as well as he does as governor, but he has the ability to get a lot of Democrats on his side, and I think the Trumpers would still come out for him because he's not super liberal, but he's pretty moderate. But yeah, so Sununu I do think would win an election here. It's for Senate against Maggie Hassan, who barely beat Kelly Ayotte in New Hampshire, in 2016. So the Republicans maintain control of the Senate for another 2 years, 2024, and the Democrats are seriously screwed. Like they actually have to. They had an opportunity in 2020, or they had possible pickups in Montana and Kansas, in Iowa, in North Carolina, and Maine, and they blew it. So yeah, but Democrats have to actually win some competitive races, and they have to win a lean Republican race at some time or another. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider leaving a like if you liked the video. And if you dislike the video, don't forget to leave a dislike too. So do all that good stuff. I'll see you all in the next one.